It's smack dab in the middle of build season, and everybody's freaking out, I'm sure. So today we are at Louis, which has great sandwiches. They have these things called baked hamburgers. So that's a hamburger. It's shaped like a hot dog, but it's a hamburger. And it has chili sauce on it. If you like onions, you can put those on. They're crazy, but that's fine. The two things I want to talk about today, one is how good these sandwiches are at Louis. Two, this is pretty important. Deadlines are coming up for Woody Flowers Award and Dean's List. Mentors, get your Dean's List nominations in. Students, get your Woody Flowers nominations in. My team is a little bit behind, but we'll be okay. We just have a very small team this year. These guys are on teams. I've seen what you guys are doing. I'm sure you want to talk about it. I haven't seen what you guys are doing. So, CJ.
So at AndyMark, I am the CNC machinist and programmer for the machine shop, 6956 Shamrock Robotics. We are currently getting the rest of our intake system put together. I think it's a more interesting thing of our robot because instead of going with traditional belts and pulleys and things like that, we're actually using 3D printed components and using Euroboard for side and back panels to maintain compression to get our ball up to our shooter.
I'm sure we'll see pictures soon and such. So how about you guys? How are you doing?
We're doing okay. We lost a couple days from the snowstorm, but we planned pretty far ahead for that and made sure our parts were to our powder cutting sponsor before the storm hit. So we got those back. Now we're in assembly mode, putting together our shooter for the first time. That'll probably be mechanically complete this week, probably the climber by the end of the weekend as well. We should be all on the robot. We have several subgroups working all at the same time.
I think this time of the year, this time of the build season, I think it's my favorite because what you see is students going through frustrated times that they really try their patience. They get frustrated, they have to maybe leave the room or leave the shop, come back, yell something because what they just spent maybe a day on didn't work, and they have to redo it, and it's kind of frustrating. The adults do the same thing. We screw things up too, and even though we're professionals, we're not perfect. How students see us make mistakes is a key mentoring moment for us. How do we handle the pressure? How do we handle making mistakes? Do we blame somebody else? Are we accountable? Those are the type of things that really are some of the magic behind FIRST and how mentors show students how to act under pressure and during adversity. Those types of issues every team sees. You get ahead of yourself with assembly and you have to redo some things. But
we had a stupid one last night.
Couldn't decide how to attach the PDH for a robot. We're doing it like hanging down, and we weren't sure if we want to do zip ties or rib nuts. So we go over, put 2 rib nuts in, realize they're facing the wrong direction. It was a whole big pain. And then we go all the way back, and I was like, oh, we forgot to put the rib nuts in for the polycarb liner for the shooter. They were like, well, maybe we don't need them. We put everything together. It's like, yeah, we probably could have used those here, and the shooter's in the way, and it's like, all right, so take it apart, put it together, take it apart, put it together. It's the whole thing.
It was Saturday, this past Saturday, we had a small crew, and one of the guys, he was making chain. I don't like using master links, I like using the Dark Soul chain braid because master link can fall off. And this one guy was working on it, and I think he had to remake this one chain like 3 times. He got it right, but he had to leave the room a couple times to get through the issues that he was causing. That he was very frustrated with himself. Like I'm not frustrated. Let's just keep at it. You'll get it done.
On our team, we have a lot of students that want to get into CAD, but not a lot of them have that CAD background. I'm one of 2 mentors that have a deeper knowledge of CAD, so a lot of them trying to get through, say, our shooter side panels, or even right now, a custom winch box plate. So they were trying to figure out why they couldn't get their constraints to work in their assemblies, and it turned out that when they imported their parts from Fusion 360 into Inventor, Fusion created a slanted line, like a 90.1 degree angle on their vertical or horizontal line. So when they constrained 2 axes and planes, it took them, and then when they tried to do the third to get it stuck in space, it just kept yelling at them. And they did this for about 15 minutes before they finally called me over to be like, I don't know what's wrong. And then took a break, we evaluated the actual part itself, and then found that Fusion had did that, and so now they're going through a quick redesign in Inventor so that they can have their plates.
Right. So how many students on your team are doing CAD?
Right now, I have about 3 to 4 students that are going in between CADs, each on different sub-teams. So the intake team was heavy with CAD, the shooter team was heavy with CAD, the climber team is very heavy with CAD. They're doing fairly well, adapting to how a build season works. Some of them were, their first year was last year, and we all saw how that was going on, how that affected some teams' memberships. But right now they're staying pretty focused on their tasks, and they're really liking what they're doing.
Right now at AndyMark, we are up to here with orders and getting orders out the door. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We love getting orders, but we are busy. We're getting caught back up on getting orders fulfilled, but we're still going to probably be behind on orders for a few days for the next 2 weeks. Our plan is to get out first choice orders and regular AndyMark orders and get caught up on orders. Let's hope we don't get hit with another 12 inches of snow, which kind of set us back last week. We appreciate your patience as we get our orders to you out the door. We work closely with Team 118 down in Houston, and we're getting the EveryBot hook packages shipped out this week. I know I shipped a bunch yesterday, and we're shipping a bunch more today. Those are exciting to go out for those teams to use the EveryBot hooks, and we'll have more in stock. Okay, so be safe this week, have fun. Cherish those moments that you have with your students to get through those issues that might be tough. Deadline for entries, Woody Flowers, and Dean's List is Thursday. So today's Wednesday, you got a day and a half to get this stuff done. So get on it, get your nominations in, and make it happen. We'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Take it apart, put it back together, 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 take it apart, put it together. It's the whole thing.